Hey dears, welcome back to the channel. It's Anna with you here, and I'm very happy to see you in the new update on the situation here in Spain. Today is Monday already. It's almost the end of January. Hopefully the next months will be better than this one. Where to go worse than that? And today I bring you some very interesting and important news here from Spain. So let's go. First of all, I wanted to let you know about the situation and the new restrictions that we will have here starting from today. We don't really have, I have a news here right now on the television just in case they say something very important for us to know. But basically we don't have any numbers on the cases from the last 24 hours because the Minister of Health here, they don't work with numbers on weekend. We can only see like general numbers of the regions, of different regions here, which basically tell us that there is approximately the same amount of cases as it was before the weekend. So during the day, approximately for 24 hours, it should be about 40,000 new cases. So for the weekend, about 120,000 new cases, which is like a huge number. It's even difficult to pronounce it, you know, it's just something that you cannot have in the head, like this amount of people getting sick. It's just crazy. But they also say that the wave that was going up is like the increase of number of cases is slowing down slightly. There is still an increase, that's true, but it's not that big. It's not as huge as it was, the difference from one day to another. So they say that the growth is stabilizing slowly, hopefully surely. It's getting more stable, and we think that in about 2 weeks we should be like on the peak, maximum in 2 weeks, and we should go slowly down because we have so many restrictions right now in Spain that it just has to happen. There is no other way, basically. What restrictions did our regions put in place from today? First of all, you know that Valencian region has closed all the bars and restaurants. They've authorized shopping centers and in general some shops to be open only until 6 o'clock in the evening, and after then everything has to be closed. They've put on some mobility restrictions as well for the Valencian region, and now they've announced this. Watch that. They forbid to have like reunions, stay with friends and someone who's not your member of your family, let's say like that, at home. So this means that you basically cannot bring your friends home, and you cannot bring anyone to your house that's not living with you permanently. With an exception, there is one exception, well, two exceptions. One is people that live by themselves, so it's only one person living in the apartment, he can bring like a friend. Or if it's a couple, if a couple is living separately, the couple can come to your house, but like friends and other relatives, nope. As well as more than 15 towns and cities that have more than 50,000 people living in them will be closed by zone. So it means that no one is able to go in or out of that city or town, but not all the week. It's only for bank holidays and weekends. But listen to this. Weekend starts from Friday 3 p.m., which means that from Friday 3 p.m. until Monday 6 a.m. in the morning, no one is able to go in or out of these cities that have more than 50,000 people living in them. With an exception that, for example, my daughter goes to school in Benidorm. I live outside Benidorm in Albir. So I need to go and pick her up on Friday at 5 p.m., which is already the time when Benidorm is locked down. So I need to bring some kind of a document for the police officers, because there will be controls, for the police officers to show that why I'm going to Benidorm, that either my daughter is studying there and it's to pick her up, or it's like if I have a job there, some exceptions, you know, that are very necessary for you. If not, just simply to go to Benidorm to have a walk, like see something, to the beach, no, it's not possible. as well as there won't be allowed any more groups of more than 2 people outside on the streets, like in public areas, which means that if it's like a family of 2 adults plus 1 child, or 2-3 children, they are able to go outside because they are one family unit. If it's, for example, you and your 2 other friends that don't live together, you won't be able to see each other on the street like that. So they want to minimize the amount of people on the streets and minimize the contact between the people that don't live together. These measures here in Valencian community will be until the 15th of February, which is slightly more than 2 weeks time. And this is done just to decrease the amount of cases, because Valencian community, together with another 3 approximately, that are south, like north part of Spain, plus Madrid, we have the worst amount of cases right now, the worst amount of death and ICU unit cases, and like just general hospital cases. So we need to do something desperately. Andalusia, the south part of Spain, also are closing up all the towns and cities and villages, so you're not able to go from one town to another just like that. You also need like very, very specific important reason for that. And Madrid is closing another 56 zones, like basic zones of health, are locked down, so people are not able even to move from their part of a city to the other part of the same city. This is crazy. But in Madrid, the most interesting thing is that in Madrid, the bars and restaurants are still open. They are still open, when in almost all Spain they're closed. In Madrid, they are still open, although until 9 o'clock at night, but still open. So this is basically what's happening. Our Minister of Health is leaving the Ministry of Health, because he's planning to go to the Catalonia's parliament, like the Catalonia's government, basically. And there are going to be some elections there. So he's leaving the Ministry of Health to go to the elections on Catalonia. Cookie. Never mind, it's Cookie. It's our main coon kitten. Right here, she was sleeping. She just woke up. So yeah, basically he's leaving us. He's leaving the whole Spanish nation and all people that live here in Spain to go to Catalonia's government. And he's leaving us in the middle, like, of a third wave, in the middle of most crisis that Spain is having. He's just leaving us. That's it. Like, no words, no comments for that. So basically, this is what's happening here. By the way, another news is that in Granada there was some seismic activity and like small, or not very that small, earthquakes going on since Saturday. There was about 30 of them. There is a website where you can put Granada earthquakes, and online they will put you with a star marked to the places that now have the seismic activity in them. And basically it was about 30. The highest was 4.4 by scale. Cookie, stop. Ugh. The last was 4.4 by scale, and a lot of things broke down. A lot of houses had cracks in them, in the walls and on the surfaces. So basically it's not like nothing happened. Something happened. And basically why it is like that. Cookie, well, go baby, go. And why it was like that, because in Granada there is one place which is going down because of excavations and stuff going on in there. It's going down, and this movement is basically making those earthquakes. So the movement of the earth itself is making the earthquake. This one, 4.4, was the biggest one in 11 years. Last one was in 2010. It was in 2010, and since then nothing like this happened. But that area in Granada here in Spain is the one that has like most seismic activity and the possibility to have earthquakes, so people are kind of used to it. But this one was like the biggest one in the decade, so people are getting slightly worried. But no one's dead, no one was affected, no one went to the hospital, so everything's fine. It wasn't that big earthquake, but still it's something, and people are afraid that they will keep getting bigger. It's being monitored right now. I'm also checking it every now and then, but there were no like bigger earthquakes just for now, fingers crossed. So this is basically what's happening here. And the last news is that's happening here in our region in Benidorm, Alicante, Altea Calpe, like this region where I live, is, you know, that we have a few like different companies that serve food, like bring food to your home, which is Glovo, for example. That's the most popular one. It can bring you something from the pharmacy, from a supermarket, diapers, like a lot of different things, flowers, and they also bring you food from restaurants to take away. And there is like Just Eat and a lot of different ones, but Glovo is the one that treat their workers the worst. And this is why yesterday a lot of workers in the peak time, like the most important time of the day, which is dinner time. Here in Spain, dinner time is approximately from 9 till between 9 and 10 p.m. in the evening. That's when Spanish people, basically Spanish nation, has dinner. We have a little bit earlier, but that's normal here in Spain to have dinner from 9 till 10, and even later if it's summer. So what happened is that basically from 9 till 10, they just stopped working. They just left their bags near the restaurants and like fast food places, and they just refused to work and to deliver. That's it. So a lot of people, like the app just collapsed suddenly, and a lot of people were like waiting the orders. They never came. So yeah, this situation is not very good. But why did they do it? Basically because they are working as false autónomos. Autónomo here in Spain is the person that works for themselves. It's like you are your business owner, you pay your own taxes, and you're like independent worker. But they work for this company. They have a contract with Glovo, so they cannot be autonomous. You know, that's the case. Plus, they are getting paid a very, very small amount for every delivery. They are paid less than €2 for each delivery. This is like ridiculously small amount. And if you think about it, it's like nothing. It just doesn't even cover the costs, because they have to use their own vehicle. They have to use their own way of bringing the food to people. Some of them are going in motorcycles. Some of them are going with a bicycle. Few of them are going with cars, I must say, but still, if they're going with a moto, let's say, or with something, they still use the energy and they use fuel, for example, and they need to pay for it. And they pay it from their own pocket. The company doesn't cover it. So they basically doesn't even know the money to cover these costs, like not even mentioning that to like earn something for their profit. No, this is just ridiculous how they're being treated. So that's why yesterday they've stopped and they said, no, we're not going to work anymore until we are listened, until people know how we are treated. And each day people quit, and each day new people come in thinking that they would earn money, but then they quit in a few days when they see how the situation basically is. This is very sad, but this is very true here in Spain with the fast delivery service. This is basically the news for today. We're waiting to see how this week goes. Basically, hopefully at the end of this week, we will see if the situation is stable or not. But we will still have restrictions until like mid of February or maybe even more. So if you want to travel to Spain, don't do this if you can. If you still decide to, then please take all the necessary measures to prevent things from happening and to prevent getting the virus, because it's very bad. The virus is just awful. It's disgusting what it's making to people. And there are even children of 6-year-old, of 10 years that are in the ICU unit for like 2 weeks alone with their parents, afraid, just terrified, and it's really very, very bad situation right now here. So please take care of yourselves, your relatives, your loved ones, because life is only one, and you will have your loved ones with you only once in a lifetime. So take care, wait a little bit, and the situation hopefully will get better very, very soon. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe down below if you still didn't do so that YouTube would notify you when the new video comes up. Thank you, and have a very, very light anti-stress, very, very positive beginning of a new work week. Bye, everyone.